we use predictive empathy. We've collected over 20,000 videos and really to a point where that information is usable is where we brought in AI and where we brought in our frameworks. What we really prioritize is really understanding what is that trigger point when somebody is open to change, to a message, to buy something, to stop doing something. Why is that moment important? What's the emotion behind that trigger moment? What's the context? The context and the emotion is really important so that we can get to how. So, how do you really structure that message and experience that really sparks that change, that movement, what you want them to do? One thing we're very focused on when we're doing this analysis is what's universal? What is really important and relevant for most people? And what are the meaningful differences that you really need to tailor your approach for? An example of how this plays out, very relevant right now because it's so top of mind to the people in our community, is money and just how overwhelming money is right now. All the decisions people have to take, and the kind of mental math and delay tactics, self justification, and balancing act they're doing it all at the same time for one decision. I'll let you listen to one community member talk about how she does it.
I consider spending extra money on experiences I know I'm going to remember in the years to come. And when I spend money on those experiences, I try and remember there's always going to be money coming in and there's always going to be ways to make money. But this specific experience I might not never get again.
Before opting for that experience is really aligning with her values, really thinking through, can she afford it and what are the trade-offs? So there's a lot of brain power going into these money decisions. And that really offers an opportunity for organizations to tap into these communities. It gives you a sense of when might be a good time. A purchase sparks uncertainty. This could be someone buys something and there's a regret, or they're worried about the quality. And so, really having the right information to assure them that this is a value purchase, it's worth the investment is really important. And understanding that why they grew up with parents who were immigrants and everything had to be cost effective. And they really appreciate that and they recognize and they understand that, but they're also like, oh, I want to do things a little different. I want to make sure that I'm not just buying the cheapest thing, but the one that has, it's longer lasting, it has higher quality, and then really using that when and the why to kind of get to the how. So is there maybe giving additional information about the quality, the process, why this is worth the investment? Is an example of how the mental load of money can offer an opportunity for brands and organizations who are trying to improve money management, be relevant to these consumers. What we're seeing across communities is there's four emotional realities behind everyday spending. We have the strategic optimizers, spreadsheeting it, really thinking about everything. They're trying to maximize the values. They're trading reward points. There's the anxious balancer. They're constant between what their obligations and the things that bring them relief, joy, and meaning to their lives. There's the identity spenders. These are folks that they want their spending to reflect who they are or who they want to be. They're very interested in kind of the background of the company or the product, aligning their goals to the values of that organization. And there's the bridge spenders, and they're trying to really kind of save for the future and for a longer term goal. I'll let you listen to a strategic optimizer and everyday spending so you get a flavor for it.
Makes me feel bad when waiting to purchase is I think that it may be going on sale later or around a specific holiday. They usually have good sales around President's Day, definitely Black Friday, or sometimes depending on the store, if you let stuff sit in your cart long enough, they'll say, hey, you can have some items in your cart. Here's 20% off.
It's important to get on top of those type of behaviors, understand an abandoned cart doesn't really mean they're not interested and they need a communications, they need an offer to get them to close the sale. So how this plays out, how you get to what's important to focus in on is really understanding what's the when there's a unexpected expense, sales alert or reward windows, food and identity driven shopping, major purchase moments across all four demographics. Consumers want their reasoning recognized, not overridden. They want you to relate to how they're thinking about the purchase and their money. And the how can be everything from matching that reality for that consumer with an offer that makes sense for them, messaging that really respects each person's logic. Give them almost like a wink. I get you. I know what you're trying to do here, and I'm going to help you. So that is a quick look at some of the money trends we're seeing